In this video, we're going to talk about the difference between static sections and dynamic sections. So this is another pretty technical concept, but I think it is important just to understand, at least briefly, to sort of get a feel for what the Power theme is doing and how it's working and how it's different than any other theme out there. So the homepage is actually the best place to look at this because the homepage is the only place that these dynamic sections can exist. So when we say dynamic sections, we're actually talking about these here that you're probably most familiar with. So these are the sections that we can pick up, move around freely, hide if we want to, delete if we want to by clicking the remove section button, and also freely add to the page as we want. So as you can see, when we click the add button, we can pick our section and add any section in any position that we like. So these are dynamic sections, and these only exist on the homepage natively with Shopify. The other ones that we have here, like the header, for example, this is a static section, and you can see it's different. There's no delete button at the bottom. There's no hide button anywhere. There's no way to move this around if we want to. So these are static sections, and these are the sections that are used everywhere else throughout this theme and every other theme, because you can't have dynamic sections anywhere else but the homepage. And that's actually the big limitation with Shopify. And it's why that basically every other theme on the market doesn't allow you to really customize any other pages freely besides the homepage. So that brings us into what's different about the Power theme. So if we go back to one of our custom landing pages here, so custom landing page 1, we can see that it's filled up with static sections, and there's no dynamic sections here, right? Because again, they can't exist anywhere but the homepage. But what we do have is a bunch of static sections. So for example, this countdown banner is a static section, which is at the top here. So the way that we kind of got around it with the Power theme for hiding and showing static sections is with what you just saw here is a little checkbox for displaying and undisplaying static sections. So this is really useful for things that needed to remain static. And in a later video, I'll talk about why some of these sections needed to remain static. But the thing I want to draw your attention to again right now is these dynamic sections content. So these again are static sections, as you can tell. We can't move these around anywhere. There's no drag and drop. There's no delete button anywhere on them. But what we did do with the Power theme, and what is totally unique to this theme versus the other themes on the market, is we actually found a way to store additional sections within a static section. So if we click on the static section, we can actually see all these other sections populating it. And what's more than that, we can actually add other sections at will and as many as we want. So we truly get like a dynamic section feel, or like a homepage like dynamic section layout inside of a static section, which is the true power behind the Power theme. And it's why we can create these beautiful landing pages like we can. So I hope that kind of made sense. And again, it's not super important that you understand the difference between static and dynamic sections, but I just wanted to point out that basically the key takeaway is that dynamic sections can only live on your homepage, and everywhere else static sections live. And through some clever programming with the Power theme, we added the ability to transition a static section into these dynamic sections essentially. And that's what we have here on these custom landing pages. So I hope you found that kind of helpful, maybe a little interesting. And in the next section, we'll dive into some more section talk and look at the sections that we have on the Power theme in more detail. Thanks.